Hey everybody, it's Pete with HydroBlox West. We're at a beautiful home in California, and they had a drainage problem, a water problem. During the rainy season, the ground under the home would get damp, and that damp, wet dirt smell would come into the house. And so we have put in a system with HydroBlox, using HydroBlox. And this job really showcases some of the features and benefits associated with HydroBlox versus traditional, aka primitive, I would call it, French drains. What we did here was the homeowner wanted us to do some extra work, and we were certainly happy to do it. That fence is a new fence that we put in, and this hillside used to be just a naked, plain hillside. And what we did was we terraced it off. Behind each one of these retaining walls is HydroBlox drainage. So all the drainage comes from behind the walls going this way. We've got a run of HydroBlox coming down the hillside here. There's a transition box right here, and then that transition box transitions the HydroBlox draining water into hard pipe. That solid pipe then goes over the hill down to the street. And I hope you can hear me over all the landscapers, let me just take you on a quick tour. So we installed this staircase, 6x6 timbers, pressure treated obviously, and again, these terraces are now ready for planting grapes, flower beds, vegetable gardens, whatever she will want to do. And it's all got drainage behind. It's got drainage behind each one of these terraces, so fantastic. And so any of you who have seen past videos of mine, you know that I like to think in military terms when it comes to drainage systems. The bench, I'll call it, up here at the top of the property has one line of HydroBlox, and it's a 2-board run. So remember that each board has the capacity to handle over 14 gallons of water per meter per minute. So if you're putting in 2 boards side by side, that's 28 gallons of capacity per meter per minute. So the first line of defense, the first battle is fought up there on the bench. That comes down to right here where it comes down the embankment, connects to a 2-board high curtain drain right here, and then that curtain drain connects to what I showed you earlier. And so all this water goes out to the street on this side of the fence. On the back side of the patio, what we did was we installed a 2-board high curtain drain here, and then we backfilled it with sand and then this what I call river rock for the aesthetics. And so you've got your first line of defense here on the bench. You've got your second line of defense here on the outside of the patio. And then what we did was, you have to understand that this area right here would become a pond. The homeowner said that this becomes a pond when there would be a lot of rain. And so I don't think we're gonna have a pond anymore, and let me tell you why. Through this run right here, what you're seeing right here is a 3-board high curtain drain. So each board is 9 inches tall, so that's 27 inches tall, and the trench is 3 feet deep. We typically don't go down that deep. The homeowner wanted some extra insurance, and we were happy to give it to him. So that is a 27-inch high curtain drain going through here, and then going through here is another 2-board run connecting, because remember, this whole area used to become a pond. Then here we have a 2-board run connecting, but we also installed a stormwater box right here and a stormwater box right here. Now, some of you may remember that a stormwater box has a capacity of over 60 gallons, so it's a storage and retention application typically. And so what we did was we installed the stormwater box alongside the 2-board run. The stormwater box, the purpose of it is that because this area gets so much water, and look at this big hillside that's sending all the water down to it, this area gets so much water that we wanted to have massive capacity to be able to capture all the water so there wouldn't be any pooling. So the stormwater boxes will fill up with water. They'll find the run of HydroBlox, and then the run will be taken out to the street, and I'll show you where that's being taken to. So we have a 3-board high curtain drain here, 3-board high curtain drain running alongside the house. We have a stormwater box installed here, a stormwater box installed here, a 2-board run here, and a 2-board run there. Now our last line of defense is alongside the sidewalk up close to the house. This is also a 3-board high curtain drain, and so you'll see it extends to the patio. We installed those nice little flagstones, and so but that's a 3-board high curtain drain. So again, 27 inches high, and the trench is 3 feet deep. We installed this retaining wall. It's both for aesthetic purposes as well as functional purposes, because you're holding back that hillside. It was a difficult installation because of that tree there and all the roots. But nevertheless, we take all the HydroBlox drained water underneath that fence, coming here underneath that fence, and we take it out and around, down the hill, where we connect right at that landing. We installed a stormwater box and a transition box. A transition box is really exactly like a stormwater box. It's just smaller, and it is used to transition from HydroBlox boards to solid pipe. And so the water from the HydroBlox runs will come down to the HydroBlox transition box, where it will fill up the box, and then the box on the other side has a solid black ABS pipe coming out of it, and then that water will daylight out to the street. Now, the other thing that we did at this job was we connected the downspouts to the system. So these downspouts weren't working very well. They weren't very efficient, clogged over the years. There was an older couple that lived in this home before the current property owners purchased it, and probably just, fell behind on maintenance. But nevertheless, what we did was cut the concrete, ran the downspouts out to solid pipe, because just like with traditional, aka primitive French drains, you don't want to put your downspouts into the same drain. Same thing with HydroBlox. You don't want to put your downspout water, because of the volume and velocity, into a HydroBlox run. You want that to be a separate run. So we have solid pipe for the downspouts coming along here, running alongside the HydroBlox run. Actually, not alongside, but pretty close. And then what happens is, on the other side of the transition box, where the solid pipe is coming out to go out to the street, we have it connected to that solid pipe with a Y connector. And so you have your downspout water and you have your HydroBlox water all going out to the street. This is a comprehensive system that, if it were to be done, if it would have been done the traditional, aka primitive way, just imagine all the property disruption. Look, we had tight spaces in which to work. To put in traditional French drains, would have been pretty disruptive. Let's just put it that way. And the property owner has experience at a couple different properties that he's owned over the years with French drains failing. So he just didn't want to go down that path again. And when he learned about HydroBlox, he was very excited about using it. So we're happy with this system. This is a comprehensive drainage system for this homeowner, and I think it's going to work really well for him. And that's it. For more information, go to HydroBloxWest.com. Again, HydroBlox with an X, West.com.